Hi folks, I'm Scott Martin, host of the Caddie Show on tourplayers.com, where the pros hang out. I just gotta show you this. That was my lucky charm for the show.
Well, tell us about it.
It's something that oh, sorry. There's a mall in Syracuse, New York that I've been by a ton of times, and there's a carousel in the mall. And I've gone in there and I never rode the carousel, but I go in there and watch people do it. And I do a little bit of shopping, whatever, you know, and there's a really cool old carousel that was made in Chicago back in the 20s or 30s, and it's in this mall. And I go watch the carousel, and I actually got up the nerve one day. Here's this 50-year-old guy going to there's all kids and moms and whatever at the mall, and here's this. I saw other people doing it on their own too. I wasn't the only one, but I went for a ride in the carousel. It was really cool. So my girlfriend Ann came to a tournament at Turning Stone, and we went to the mall, and I got her up onto the carousel. But in the carousel, what they do is, sorry about that again. What they do at the carousel is they, these two, I'm sure they're a married couple, like both 90 years old. They sell you a little wooden token, and you get the token. You walk 2 feet, you put the token in the little slot. It's $1, and Anne kept her token, and she gave it to me. So I drew a little hole in it, and bit of a longer story about my late sister too, this cord. So anyways, I have this token on my neck, and I you know, took it out about 100 times in the back 9.
Was last week the first week you wore it?
No, I've been wearing it for a couple of years. Yeah.
But it got you through. When you say it's surreal, are you talking about one of those moments where everything just goes quiet and it's calm? Really peaceful, and you know, just really in the moment, you know. I have something. Can I grab something over here? Sure.
This is something that this book that I've been reading. Obviously it's pretty old, and I've had it for a number of years, and it's called Zen and the Martial Arts, but it teaches a lot about Zen, and anybody can incorporate it into their lives. They don't have to be in the martial arts or golf or whatever, but I've heard you know, a couple of people recommended this book, and it's something that really got me through some of the thoughts of the day, you know, staying in the moment especially, you know. It's a really good little life lesson book.
It's very cool, and I've known you for a while, Scott. I've seen heartbreak. First thing that came to mind, and I get a little bit emotional thinking about it, but I think back to New Orleans a few years ago with Peter Lonard, and a heartbreaker there, and almost a chance to win.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying, you know, I don't know if I'll get another chance.
Yeah.
And I remember trying to be a friend and supportive and saying, you will, you know, you're going to win out here.
Yeah.
15 years, man, to get to that point.
Yeah.
Just talk about getting to that point.
A lot of sacrifice, a lot of time away from my family, but I built a family out here, you know, this traveling roadshow that we're on. It was worth the effort, you know, all the hard work and the traveling and the, you know, loneliness and the whole package, you know. It's a real strain on relationships, but, you know, all worth the effort. And we all know how fast time flies, and, you know, the 15 years, a lot has gone on in 15 years, and time has flown by. And to actually, like, you know, to have a flag for, you know, when I'm an old man in the rocking chair or whatever, but I'm really, really happy. I'm really happy. I'm blessed, and you know, just really fortunate to have won a tournament in the PGA Tour.
I have to compare you to one of the greatest players in the game, certainly in our era, Ernie Els. I remember sitting with Ernie after he won in Muirfield.
Yeah.
His 3rd major championship. He won the Open Championship. And I remember his enjoyment, and I remember him telling me he didn't care if he ever won a tournament again the rest of his life. Yeah. And I would imagine you feel the same joy.
Yeah, for sure. You know, like when going back to the New Orleans thing, right? And think, I don't know if we'll have another chance. Well, we have a chance every single week that we're out here. But when you're really close and you've been at it for a few years, and, you know, a little putt here or there, you know, and it was really close to think, oh man, like it's tough enough to get into that position. Is it going to happen again? You know, and that's why at that moment I felt that way. You know, but to get to this point and to watch it happen with the front row seat, really good player, really good guy. You know, I watched some. We all know how good they all are on a weekly basis, but to be there on the bag for a guy, and I know some guys it's kind of a regular occurrence, you know, but the first time's unbelievable. I hope there's going to be more, you know, but the first time was one of the best experiences of life, easily. I mean, you know, what's better? A couple of things. You know.
Show us the flag, because obviously it's a tradition for caddies when they win to get the flag at 18. And
I actually, I went this morning. I had to meet George and went to tie up some loose ends, you know, and I had my flag, but I went early. What some of the reps do, what I found out, is they'll take their flag that they have, you know, for major winners usually, right? The guys will get flags, or, you know, some of the tailor-made or whatever get a flag for their guy that won a tournament, for example. But those guys have Scotch Guard in their trailer, and they spray the flag first so the ink doesn't run on the material. So I showed up about a half hour before I was to meet George and went around to the trailers and asked for a can of Scotch Guard and went outside and sprayed it. And then I was supposed to meet him at the club. I was supposed to meet him at the clubhouse, and he was in the parking lot, and I went and spoke to him at his vehicle, and you know, gave me a check and asked me if he'd sign the flag. And I don't know if you can see this here. You see where it says 141? Well, when it was all said and done, he looked at me on the 18th. He said, "We're 1 for 1." So he signed it, and then I said, "Hey, you want to write something else for me?" He said, "What's that?" I said, "Write 1-4-1." And he's looking at me like, "What?" I said, "Because he said to me on the 18th green, we're 1 for 1." So that's my flag. I think I might put in a little frame, you know, hang it up in the house.